Hello everyone, my name is Nick Fillingham. I work on the Microsoft 365 team up in Redmond. This is an Australian accent, not a Redmond accent, just in case. Oh, Aussie. No, don't do it, it's weird. So I'm going to talk to you in the next 20 minutes. What is a modern desktop? Now, who's wandered around Ignite and seen the big blue banners that say shift to a modern desktop with Microsoft 365? Most of you? Keep your hand up, or put your hand up if you didn't really know what that meant. Okay, so we've got some work to do. But in these next 20 minutes, I'm going to tell you what a modern desktop is and why it's something that you should have. I'm happy to stick around for questions afterwards. Hopefully there won't be many, but I want to make sure that you guys come away with this with a really good understanding of this concept, why we created it, and what it means you can go do and kind of bring to life for your users. So the first thing we start off is the modern workplace, and that's what Satya explained and described to us. That's the vision and the story that he told this morning in the keynote. That's what Ron followed up with in some of the tech visionary stuff. The modern workplace is what we all aspire to build, to deploy, to enable for our users, right? The modern workplace is kind of like our North Star. Under the modern workplace, or as part of the modern workplace, there's lots of different workloads, lots of different scenarios, lots of different worker types. One of the scenarios or workloads inside the modern workplace that enables this modern workplace is something called a modern desktop. And the reason it exists is because there's lots of different types of workers, right? We have boardroom executives, we have information workers, we have first-line workers, and everything in between. People are in the office, out of the office, in the field, in a factory. They've got big devices, little devices, tablets, everything they've got. But there is a kind of a constant here. If you need to get work done, and you have in front of you or in your possession a phone, a PC or a laptop, and a tablet, and you need to work on a document, you need to pull together a PowerPoint presentation, you need to do some graphics or something that's CPU intensive, the device you go to is your PC. The PC is today and still and will remain for some time the center of the modern workplace. The PC is the workhorse we always go to when we need to get stuff done. So we thought about this concept of the PC being at the center with our tablets and our phones as companions. We thought about this vision of a modern workplace. We thought about the Microsoft 365 suite of products, and we kind of came up with this new concept that we call a modern desktop. Now, before I show you what it is, this is kind of the historical tension that we've seen existing in businesses. On the left-hand side, you have users that have always been demanding, don't keep me chained to my desk. Let me work from home. Let me work from the road. Let me access my mail from my phone, right? So we have all the stuff that users are demanding. But on the right-hand side, we have the duty of IT. IT's job is to keep the trains running on time. If you work for a railway, it's actually your literal job. But really, it's about making sure that the business keeps moving forward, the business makes money, we're reducing risk. Most of the time, this was a compromise. IT said, this is my duty, I do this first. If I can get to this, maybe, but a lot of the times they can't, right? And so a lot of users are using outdated tech, outdated tools, outdated devices. So the modern desktop concept and the hypothesis was, could we create a joint vision and a joint concept that would actually reduce this tension and bring these two things together? Now that's very airy-fairy and fluffy. Let me tell you what it really means. Modern desktop is very simple. It's Windows 10 and it's Office 365 kept up to date. That's literally it. If you are delivering to your users Windows 10 on their device and Office 365 and you're keeping both of those things up to date, that is a modern desktop. So why that combination? Why do we have Windows 10 and Office 365 and stay current or kept up to date? We have this combination for a couple of reasons. The first is, when our engineering teams go and come up with new ideas, when they build new concepts, when they think of new ways to work, new ways to collaborate, new ways to leverage the cloud, new ways to leverage intelligence and AI, they've got to take that stuff and put it somewhere. How do they turn that into a product and deliver it to our customers? Now in 2018, the way we do that is through our products, which are something as a service, Windows as a service, Office as a service. That's the only way to deliver that innovation. So if your customers are on Windows 10, we deliver that innovation in the form of feature updates every roughly 6 months. If your customers are on Office 365, we deliver those innovations on a monthly cadence and also a 6-monthly cadence. So When you have Windows 10 and you have Office 365 and you've established a process whereby you're taking those regular feature updates, you are constantly making these products better. Every month, Office 365 can take new features and have more ways to be productive. Every 6 months or so, Windows can also take new features and add more productivity, more security, more management capabilities. Now, the inverse of this is Windows 7 and Office 2010 or 2013 or even 2016. Those products are snapshots in time. We stopped we stopped releasing new features for Windows 7, I think it was 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago with Service Pack 2? Someone keep me honest. There has not been a new feature in Windows 7 since then. We release security updates. If we find a vulnerability, we go and patch that. We make sure we keep you secure. But we have not released any new features, any new capabilities to Windows 7 in over 5 years. The only way we ship new features and capabilities to our Windows customers is on Windows 10. Same thing with Office 365. Here's a kind of here's some cognitive dissonance, maybe. If you're contemplating buying or upgrading to Office 2019, which comes out, I think, this month or next month, Office 2019, if you install it on the day that it's released, it has less functionality than Office 365 had 7 months ago. Now, that's not to say it's a bad product. It's a great product. And it's a product that's designed for a very specific set of customers and a very specific set of customer scenarios. But the way that we ship our product is that we commit in all our features, we commit in all our changes, and then at some point we have to go, okay, we're stopping here, we're going to refine this and get it ready to ship, and then we ship Office 2019. And that was 7 months ago. The Office 29 engineering team, they stopped committing code 7 months ago. So what you get next month for Office 2019, they stopped putting new capabilities and features in there about 6-7 months ago. So when you go and install that, if you choose to install that, you're actually choosing something that is not as fully functioned as that you would have not only today, but 6 months back. And that's just the way that we go build our products. The way we build our products is that when we invest in security innovations, productivity and management, we push that out to our products that are as a service, Windows as a service, Office as a service. And there's another component here too, especially over in the world of Office. So Office 365, by definition, is cloud connected. It's a subscription service, it's a monthly based cadence where you're kind of updating features, you're connected to the cloud, whether it's your own exchange or exchange in the cloud. So we know you have that connection. We know you have that persistent connection to the cloud. When we know that, we can deliver features that are dependent on the cloud. If you have Office 2013, 2016, 2019, we don't know if you have an always connected PC, or if that PC is going to be always connected to the cloud. It may not be. We do when you're on 365. And so that means that we can also bake in real-time collaboration and cloud intelligence into those features of Office 365 that we just can't put in the other offline versions or perpetual versions, because we have no idea if you can actually take advantage of them. So if you want to continue to see the productivity innovations, security and management innovations, as well as real-time collaboration and cloud intelligence, this is the combination that you have, and we call that the modern desktop. So we think of the modern desktop in kind of 3 buckets of benefits. We think of it as being the most productive, the most secure, and the lowest TCO. What we really mean by that is if you look at all of the products and services that Microsoft ships, all of the apps that we build, all of the services, all of the ways of installing an app, connecting it to a service, all of those permutations, when you have Windows 10 and Office 365 and you keep them up to date, that combination is going to give you the most productive experience for your end users. It's going to create the most secure environment for your business, and it's going to save you the most money. So I'll give you a couple of quick examples. I'm not going to go into lots of features here, but we have a set of capabilities that we think about under most productive. We think about this stuff. We think about features that are intelligent. We think about stuff that helps you keep on track. We think about how do we give you actionable insights from data. We think about collaboration. A great example, so in RS4, probably someone help me on what did we call that? Well, I can't remember what we call Windows 10 RS4, but the most recent release, we introduced something called the Windows Timeline. The Windows Timeline allowed you to sync what you were doing on your PC with all the PCs. So when you Alt-Tab, you don't just see that the windows that are open on this PC, you see the windows that you've opened in a timeline view across every device that you'd linked, every device you touch. You've got a device at home, you've got a device at work, you've got another PC, we link all that together into a single view. With RS5, or the new release that's coming out, we're introducing an update to the clipboard, where we actually have a global clipboard now. So when you copy something to the clipboard, there's a little app that allows you to search through the stuff in the keyboard. You can star things that are favorites, you can delete things, but it's also shared across all your devices. So you can copy, on one PC, move to the next, and paste from there. And so again, small innovations, absolutely, but the only way we can get these innovations to you is if you're on Windows 10 and you take the updates, right? So let's talk about most secure. So again, we think about how can we bake products in that are proactive? How can we make your PC proactively help protect? How can we safeguard your company's data, especially from not just intentional or malicious threats, but accidental user error? And so a really great example here is ransomware. Ransomware is probably one of the best reasons to upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10. If we find a bug in Windows 7, we'll go patch it. If we find a vulnerability, we'll go patch it. But ransomware doesn't always rely on a vulnerability or a patch. A lot of the time, ransomware relies on user error or social engineering. You know, the hackers will send something out that looks like a legitimate email, a legitimate file. It's got some ransomware embedded. Oh my gosh, now you're infected. With Windows 10 and Office 365, in particular the OneDrive for Business that we ship with Office 365, if you get a ransomware attack comes through or a ransomware starts to kick in, we're actually monitoring what's happening on your PC. We're monitoring the files that you're mirroring up into the OneDrive for Business service. And if we detect that we think ransomware might be happening, first of all, we stop it. And second of all, we give you a one-click way to actually go back to a known good state before the ransomware happened. That's another set of capabilities and set of features that we can't ship to Windows 7 customers. We can't do it. Like, it's not a way to do it. But we make it available to you when you're on Windows 10. And then the third way is around lowering total cost of ownership. And so this is about, the principle here is really, how do we make things simpler for you as IT? How do we have you do less things? How do we help empower users? And how do we empower users in a way that they can't get things wrong? And then how do we leverage data? How do we leverage diagnostic data? How do we leverage telemetry data and put it back into your hands? So Windows Analytics, which will soon merge with the new desktop analytics service, is really one of the key parts to seeing the benefits of a modern desktop. And I'll talk about that in just a second. Now, if you need more convincing, or if someone in your management chain needs convincing of why move to a modern desktop, and again, all I'm saying is Windows 10 and Office 365 and keep it up to date. That's it. That's all a modern desktop is. If you do that, we had Forrester run a study for us, and for an organization of 5,000 seats, so kind of a mid-market customer, over 3 years, they projected a savings of $7.2 million. That's for every 5,000 customers over 3 years. So if you have 10,000 customers, double that for 3 years. They saw a full return on investment in 13 months. Security risks were reduced by 40%. And every employee got back 2.3 hours in productivity time. So simply by moving to Windows 10, Office 365, and keeping those two products up to date, this is the benefit that our customers can get. Now, here's the other amazing thing. If you have an enterprise agreement, if you have software assurance, if you have Microsoft 365, which many of you do, you don't need to spend any money. You have the licenses for this stuff. I'm actually not selling you anything. Most of you are actually properly licensed for Windows 10 and for Office 365. We just need you to go get it deployed. So these are the benefits of moving to a modern desktop. This is kind of the way that you get there. We've kind of broken it down into 4 steps. If you want to go deeper on this, go and check out the mechanics booth. These guys are going very deep into modern desktop deployment. But it all starts here on the first page, or the first bullet point here is gain insights. And really the key to this first stage here is the Windows Analytics service, which is soon going to be called Desktop Analytics. Windows Analytics is free. It takes about a week or maybe 2 weeks to roll out. And from there, you get a level of granularity and detailed kind of a detailed view into your estate that you've never had before. You'll find out exactly how many devices you have. You'll find out exactly how many apps you have across all of those devices. You'll find out exactly what number of those apps are compatible with Windows 10. You'll find out exactly which drivers are compatible with Windows 10. If you don't know what desktop analytics is, or if you haven't heard of it or seen it, please go to the Modern Desktop booth. Please get a demo of desktop analytics. It is a very powerful service. It absolutely unlocks the ability to move to a modern desktop very, very quickly. And from there, you get to build the deployment plans you need to upgrade to Windows 10 and Office 365. We also recently announced, I think this week, or as part of Ignite, we've made it much easier inside Config Manager to move from a perpetual Office MSI deployment to Office 365 click to run. There's now just 2 buttons which you toggle inside of Config Manager, and Config Manager will go do all the work for you in, I think it's 16 minutes. It'll actually upgrade a device from perpetual Office to Office 365, so that's a much, much easier lift now. And then staying current. Staying current is the critical thing here. If you just get to this point and you stop, if you do this tomorrow, you've got a modern desktop for about 6 months, maybe 12 months. And then there will be a new release of Windows 10, maybe a second release of Windows 10. There will be a monthly release of Office 365. Your users will not be getting the benefits of all those innovations that we're shipping out to customers, and at some point, you'll kind of fall out of compliance. So you can't stop here. You've got to move into this motion here where you're staying current. And the Windows Analytics tool, or the Desktop Analytics service, which will be launched very soon, is going to be critical helping here. And then once you've established this and this rhythm is running, now you can start to think about how to modernize your IT. How do you start to bring autopilot into your workflow? How do you start to shift, most of your management practices out of Config Manager and into Intune and be Intune first? And then looking at some of the newer functionalities of things like Windows Virtual Desktop to virtualize some of your Windows workloads that you still need to keep, Windows 7 workloads or any apps that you want to distribute through VDI. Another way you can get to Windows 10 is a new device. And there are tons of amazing devices here. Make sure you go to the Windows device booth, check out the devices from Lenovo, from Dell, from HP, from Surface. I want to give you a couple of stats. So the average, if your device is 4 years or older, then simply buying a new device, first of all, if your device is 4 years and older, the way that kind of currency and inflation, all that stuff works, is you're actually net positive buying a new device, because devices that are 4 years and older have a 12 to 15 times more likely rate of needing serviced. Not just failing hardware, but some kind of thing that IT needs to go and touch. And if you're IT, you know every time you touch a device, that's a cost incurred. So new devices need to be touched less. That brings down cost. Very quickly, that pays for itself. New devices are 28% faster. They have a full third reduction in security risks, boot up times 2.5 to 3 times faster. They're better at multitasking, and of course, much better battery life. So go and check out those modern devices. A lot of them are probably much more inexpensive than you thought. And this is another great way to move from Windows 7 to Windows 10 is to refresh your hardware. The last couple of things I want to mention is, why do you need to know about modern desktop? Well, time is running out. Windows 7 end of support is just around the corner. It's about 16 months away. It's January 14th, 2020. On that date, we stopped shipping any extended security updates to Windows 7 as part of our extended support service. Now, you can purchase extended support for Windows 7 for up to 3 years beyond January 14, 2020, but you've got to pay for it. You've got to pay for it by device. So that should be a last resort. You should really plan to be 100% Windows 10 deployment by January 2020. And then Office 2010 also has an end of support moment coming up in October of 2010. So keep those 2 dates in mind, and really you should be building a migration and deployment plan to make sure that you don't fall out of compliance with either of these products. Now, if you need help, we have a great program called Fast Track. Fast Track is a way for you to get one-to-one engagements with our engineering teams who will literally work with you and help you solve problems. If you are having a challenge upgrading to Windows 10, if you are having a challenge upgrading or migrating to Office 365, the Fast Track program will put you in contact with someone from our engineering team, literally the people that build the product, and they'll help get resolved. So that might be a URL you want to pay attention to, that fasttrack.com. Oh, excuse me, Microsoft.com/fasttrack. I've got a few minutes left, so I'm going to take some questions. Are there any questions? If not, I want you guys to go to the Modern Desktop booth. There is a big orange banner hanging. It's kind of in that direction there. Go and talk to the folks at the stations around Windows Analytics. Get a demo in Windows Analytics. It is free, and you will be amazed at the amount of detailed information you can see about your own PC estate with Windows Analytics. Totally free. Go see a demo, make sure you sign that up. Second thing is, go find out about some of the innovations in how we're helping you get to Windows 10 and Office 365, and some of the changes that are happening to Windows support. And the best thing is, if you do that, we scan your badge and you can win a, whatever that is, one of these things, or that right there. I think they're expensive Surface devices. But go and learn more about Modern Desktop, get your badge scanned, and you go into the prize draw to win some great Surface devices. So I'll turn my microphone off, and you can come up and ask questions if you have them. Thank you very much.